Hey guys, what's up? It's Face, the animator teacher man here with another video. I'm joined today by two other people because we're to discuss the validity of a tier list. I got Saber
Hey,
and I got Yuri.
Sup?
Welcome to the new non-existent show that I'm probably not gonna follow up on this. We're gonna discuss the validity of a tier list. Everybody's favorite uh, show made by Canadians.
I thought you were gonna say shonen.
No, no, that's not me. That's not me.
You're another man.
Yeah, that's another
You're
guy.
not the you're not the real Tabby Face. You're the fake Tabby Face.
Shut the fuck up. This is my show. And
This
what
is not you. This is not your timeline.
Mm,
I don't want to talk about this, Saber, please. I'm just here to have a friendly discussion and argument about the Edd N Eddy tier list.
Yuri's over here doing drugs.
I don't blame her. I would too.
All that Twitter fame got to her head.
Yeah. Oh fuck! I don't even know how many followers you got.
I have not that many.
At least your followers like say stuff to you. My followers are fucking dead. I have to wait for like Saber or Terumo to appear. Whenever I post something, it's bait for Saber and Terumo.
Okay, fair enough. But I
Whenever
also
Trumo
like.
posts, it's bait for you because it's usually him about like uploading another pig picture.
Hey, listen up. I'm down for pig rights, okay?
I was
As
gonna say I follow most of my followers. To be fair, so.
as I quote Yuri from the season one of the podcast, oink oink. You guys didn't
Okay.
hear it or see it, but I just poured one out for Terumo, and now there's water on my desk.
I'm gonna I'm gonna tell him you said this. He's gonna call you out.
I hope he does. Anyway, let's get on to this tier list. I want to talk about this. I feel like we need to start from the bottom and work our ways up
Okay.
to SS. So at
I
the
feel
bottom,
like I feel like I should say before we start this, I've never watched Ed and Eddy in my life. I can just say like purely from what I've seen that Double D is my favorite.
that's fair. That's fair. You know, everybody has onions.
I
Everybody's an
don't.
ogre.
I've never watched it, so take what I
Well,
say with a
at
grain
least
of salt.
we have an outsider's perspective, so
Yeah,
that gives us more perspective to see, you know, what this list is about.
I feel like I'm the professional around here. You know, I'm like the Guy Fieri, and then you got Saber, who's a Gordon Ramsay, and then Yuri completes the trifecta by being like the Martha Stewart. You know, she's cooking with stoners on her show.
I still haven't found the lamb sauce toe, so I'm pretty mad.
You know, so you know, Saber. I want you to give your opinion. Let's start with F tier. It's pretty easy. We have
Yeah,
Jimmy and Cockroach Eddie, which is Eddie with a bucket. What are your
yeah,
thoughts?
pretty accurate. Both are sort of weak and kind of really need to rely on. Well, Jimmy definitely needs to rely on Sarah a lot more, and Cockroach Eddie just doesn't stand a chance, not even against Jimmy.
I feel like I feel like in some occasions, if you pair Jimmy up with Sarah, he can jump to maybe the strong like. If you're really good with him, I think you can pair. I think you can bring him up maybe like even C tier, but like by himself F tier, that's pretty fair. What about you,
Yeah,
Yuri? What
Jimmy
do you
looks
think?
like a piss baby. Just saying.
That's fair. That's fine. That's pretty
I
much what
mean,
he is. All right,
What
like
a chunk.
I mean, from the D tier, I wouldn't drop anyone down to F, but I would like certainly raise someone like down to like up to C maybe.
Double
yeah,
D.
yeah. I'd actually say Double D. He does have a lot of risks with his he doesn't have much strength, but he's got a strategy behind him. He's got that intellect.
Yeah, I was gonna say he seemed, as far as I know, he's like the smartest of the.
of the bunch.
Yeah.
I feel like the Boomerang characters like Double D, Ed, and Eddie, and Sarah being in D tier is pretty fair. The Boomerang nerfed them heavily, but I feel like Boomerang Ed, compared to like his other appearances up higher on the tier list, is like pretty unfair. I feel like he can maybe jump up to C with like Double D maybe.
Yeah.
And Naz being D tier, I feel like that's almost fair. Naz has always been like a character that sucks, doesn't do much.
I don't know anything about her, but she has cute hair, so I respect that.
Put her on a team with Kevin, and you've got something there.
But again, it's mostly Kevin like carrying that character because he's a stronger like mid tier B character, and personally, I think like Ultimate Bike Kevin could be maybe a strong A tier if he really tries with like Rolf or maybe Captain Melonhead.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think we're gonna move up to the C tier. Shockingly enough, people think I disagree with this. Eddie's brother and Victor are C tier characters, and I think that's wrong.
Eddie's brother should be SS tier. I don't know anything about him, but he looks like an SS tier.
I'd say he's maybe like like weakest. He should be B, but I think at his best he's like at his good A, maybe almost S tier character by himself. And Victor the Goat being this low compared to like Wilfred in the A tier, like he needs to be up there with Wilfred. I think Victor's like has a lot more potential.
Yeah, when you pair Victor and Wilfred, you've got yourself an S team. You know, they really go ferocious.
Right, that's a really like in my opinion that's like a very strong team right there. And then base form Eddie, and then Boomerang Rolf and Sumo Jimmy, and the Oedipus being like in C tier. Again, it's a very confusing thing. It's especially for the Oedipus, who is, I think the Oedipus can do good on some teams, and Sumo Jimmy is he's a little harder to get around, but I think he can work.
Yeah.
Boomerang Rolf, he's a little, again the Boomerang nerfed a lot of characters, but I think people can make him work. He's a little harder to get around now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd probably like move Eddie and Victor up to like, I'd move Victor maybe up to like B tier, and then Eddie maybe up to like, Eddie's brother maybe up to like A. Speaking of B tier, so we have the both forms of Kevin, which is Ultimate Bike and base form Kevin. We have base form Rolf, Captain Melonhead Johnny, Professor Scam Eddie, base form Sarah, and base form Plank. What do you guys think?
Plank has a lot of good defense, but he doesn't have much to back up with his attacks. So I think it does leave him a lot at B tier because you can't get that much damage out of him. But he's definitely really good at blocking and countering. Definitely.
And you'll notice that like Johnny, there's no base form Johnny on the tier list. I think that's because like he's just mostly like in the Melonhead form.
Is
Yeah.
the Ultimate Bike Kevin like basically like Wario from Brawl?
I'd say he's like Warrior from Project M.
Oh, I see.
I say like base form Kevin's maybe like Smash 4 Wario, and then Ultimate Bike Kevin's Project M Wario.
That's fair.
And here's the thing that a lot of people say is that Rolf should be up to A tier. What do you think?
He's definitely good. He's too good for B.
I think the three shoe technique is like you're downplaying him so much if you think he's B tier, because like the three shoe and
It's
how
the
far.
best- It's the best stance move in all of the history of stances.
Exactly, and I think Captain Melonhead being B tier, I think that's pretty good because Splinter or powered up Plank is a much better character, and I think Captain Melonhead has to rely on him. And as for Professor Scam, I think that's pretty fair as well because, again, like he he needs kind of like he needs like an Ed to support him, you know.
Yeah, he needs something to he needs you basically need to uh, pay for his moves. He's kind of like a Susanoo, because but you need to get the money for his moves, which you kind of find scattered.
Exactly. And then with base form Sarah being B tier, that's probably like one of the most fair decisions I've seen.
Yeah, because she doesn't do that much unless you enrage her. Um,
Her rage stance is pretty good though.
yeah,
But again, that's like the only thing that she's banking off of. And as for A tier, the A tier is a little like A tier seems a bit congested with the Canker sisters, but again, we have like what I think are arguably one of like the best three strong characters in the game, Wilfred, Splinter, and Boomerang Jimmy, also known as Swole Jimmy.
hmm
And I think these characters are pretty strong. But as for the Canker sisters being A tier, I'd argue that Lee's probably the best like Canker. But as for like Marie and May, they can stay in A tier. But I think Lee can maybe jump up to S.
Oh, no, like objectively. Like objectively, Marie is the best Canker sister. Come on, you can't be kidding yourself on that.
Well, you have to remember this, that Lee's like the leader. Lee's the leader of the Canker sisters, you know.
That doesn't mean anything.
But
It's like how Luigi can beat anyone just by not doing anything.
that was Corrin.
You can say Mario's the leader of the Mario Brothers, but that doesn't make Luigi any less good.
No, because because you're playing Melee, then the best Mario Brothers is Dr. Mario.
But we're not talking Melee here. We're talking Ed, Ed, and Eddie.
Then, here's what I'll compare it to. Then give you some base here. Lee is Dr. Mario, Marie is Luigi, and May is base Mario or normal Mario.
Marie's still the best. Sorry.
That's fair. What do you think, Saber?
Mm, it's definitely personal preference. Um, if you're really going hard, it could be Lee, but most of the time, like casual wise, like all three of them, like are pretty good. You just gotta, you know, pick and choose.
That's fair. I don't know. Personally, I would maybe bump Lee and Wilfred up to S tier. Maybe Boomer and Jimmy can stay in A, but I still think like once you're in the A tier, like that's high level play right here. Like these characters are mostly what you see. Like you'll see sometimes like the surprise Eddie's brother or like the Rolf, or like base form Rolf, or even maybe like if you want to be real kooky, you'll see like Sumo Jimmy being played.
Yeah.
By the way, like moving on to S tier, we have pretty much like three Eds here, and they're all the same Ed. We have base form Ed, angered Ed, monster Ed, and Jimmy, and like Jimmy with like potential unleashed.
hmm
You know, he's kind of like a Gohan type of character here.
Is like Jimmy unleashed versus regular Jimmy like Sheik versus Zelda? Is that what it is?
Yeah, because like because base Jimmy sucks, and pretty much Jimmy unleashes like what base Jimmy should be. But again, Jimmy, as you said it best, like Jimmy's such like a piss baby that it takes him to be like angered and to have his power unlocked that he's really good. I mean, Boomerang Jimmy helps him a lot, but like Jimmy Unleashed is a character you'd want to play if you're playing at like the high level. And as for like the decision of putting almost all three Eds here, what do you think, guys?
He's definitely the most powerful of the main crew. That's like hands down.
Yeah, he's got all these strengths going for him. Um, he's just got like base form Ed just has a few unsafe on block.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
Ed has like Mad Ed has a lot of armor capabilities, and Monster Ed is just like as ferocious as a teamed up Victor and Wilfred.
I feel like a monster Ed can just carry a team, can carry any team, which is why he's really good. But at the same time, like Mad Ed, if you pair him up with like, I think you pair up Mad Ed with like Jimmy Unleashed, that team is like unstoppable.
Yeah.
And as for like,
though, like Like, I think, like, base Ed should be bumped up to SS tier, though.
You think
Like,
base Ed by himself,
yeah.
not like Mad Ed? Because I was thinking Mad Ed should be bumped up to SS tier.
I
Mm,
mean,
Like Monster Ed can carry a team, but like Mad Ed can like just solo like characters.
yeah, he can take on many at and still come out with like at least 75% health.
yeah, but, like, regular Ed, like, his movements are so, like, unpredictable, and, you know, like, when you really know how to use him, like, he can be one of the characters who, like, you cannot predict what they're about to do next, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and that's like a whole part of fighting games. So,
At the
you know,
same
like
time,
when you really think about it, like once he makes that whole tactic like obsolete, like, you know.
once he breaks you down, yeah, pretty much. Once he has you figured out and is like broken down your game plan, then like, yeah, I mean, you can say that with almost any character, but I feel like you're right, like base form Ed does have a lot of the tools, and a lot of the argument is gonna come from this, like, how come there's three Eds in S tier, and what makes him different than like Oedipus and Boomerang Ed?
Yeah.
I mean,
Because with Boomerang Ed, he's held back a lot.
yeah, he's a nerfed Ed.
Yeah, his strengths are just kind of lessened just to compensate for his his technique.
It's like when you play the Chrono Phantasma story in Blaze Blue, and you have to play Rogna, and you're in like for 75% of the story mode, you can't use Rogna's specials because he doesn't have the Azure Grimoire. That's pretty much base Ed, or no,
Yeah,
sorry, that's Boomerang Ed.
yeah. It's pretty much just like you're held back a lot. You basically got to hand the game over to your opponent. Oh, jeez.
What was that?
That was a sound effect from Kirby.
But where'd it come from?
What?
My
Where?
phone.
Oh.
It came from my phone. That's my Twitter notifications.
All right, it looks like Saber's getting some Twitter pussy.
Damn.
But anyway, we're not here to discuss about Saber's Twitter love life. I want to discuss about the Oedipus and how like compared to the other Eds, he seems to be oddly placed in my opinion. I think Oedipus is really good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like Eddie's brother, right?
Yeah, it's the whole Eddie's brother case and Victor in my opinion. The C tier I honestly don't agree with. Like for example, I would knock down, I'd like bump up Double D and knock down Sarah into C tier, but I'd bump up like Eddie's brother Oedipus and Victor into like maybe A or B tier.
No, that's fair.
Honestly, if you get yourself a team of Monster Ed, Mad Ed, and just base form Ed, you've got yourself some good potential to just win.
And again, this isn't a segue into like speaking of like just potential to win. Now like we have the SS tier, and some people have like banned these characters outright. We have Goldrolf and Ed's imaginary friend Jib.
Yeah. Or his stand if you pair the two together.
If you pair Jib in like any form of Ed, then you have pretty much Ed fighting with his stand. But if you pair like
Yeah, because you get all those unique special moves when you pair Jib and any kind of Ed, because you just get all that.
if you pair up Ed-bois together, you do get similar moves, but like the potential with Jib and like any form Ed, especially like characters like Boomerang Ed, Jib can carry Boomerang Ed into like maybe like a top 8.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm like losing my mind over you saying that Jib is like stand. I was so composed this whole time until you said that.
But I want to talk about Godrolf and like what you guys think, because people say like we should outright ban Godrolf.
Like really to take down Godrolf, like just because by himself you can't pair him up with anyone. But if you really want to take him down, you would probably need a team of the 3 Eds, or just a team of the Kanker sisters, because like not even a like a 3-party team Rolf, Wilfred, and Victor can really stand up to him.
I mean,
He's too ascended.
he is, because look at those three heads, man. Three heads are better than one. You know what they say?
Yeah, and plus he has a lot. His many doors character power just lets him basically turn the stage into his like
Playground.
hitbox. Yeah.
The stage when he uses like the doors and he pops overdrive and whatnot. That's like the stage pretty much becomes one big like hurt bots for him, and he just can come out of anywhere.
Yeah.
And at the same time, like people say, like that's because Rolf was voiced by the Ocean dub version of Goku.
Yeah.
No, no joke, guys. Like looked it up. The Ocean dub. I forget. I think it was like Cell Saga Goku. Is the same voice actor as Rolf. And everybody knew how good that Cell Saga Goku was. You know.
Yeah. So it's the power from that voice actor just kind of carried over.
And you can say like golf went even golf. God Rolf golf. G Rolf.
I mean that's what some local tournaments have been golf.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you?
And you know what else? The developers probably intended this because when you shorten down God Rolf, it can turn into golf. And one of the best games for the Nintendo GameCube was Mario Golf Toadstool Tour. That's a pretty like god tier game. So again, that shares a lot of things. The fuck you just say?
I said that was an amazing game.
Exactly. Don't be talking shit about Mario Toadstool Tour, man.
I personally owned Mario Baseball and Mario Tennis, but my cousin had Mario Golf, and I played the shit out of that.
Yeah, exactly. Again, this goes back to Rolf, or God Rolf, because, shortened down to golf. So, you can't beat God Rolf. But at the same time, like, what do you guys think about the controversy of him being banned?
I mean, that just kind of, when you do have to fight him, you are limited on to use if you want to beat him. Because basically, you just have no choice. You have to have like a team of the Cankers or 3 forms of Ed.
I feel like base form Ed can maybe like do his best because, as Yuri said it best earlier, that base form Ed is very much like a random character, and a lot of people have like trouble predicting what he's gonna do.
Yeah, and he's got a lot more like footsies than his other forms.
Because Mad Ed just has I think Mad Ed has a superior like hit boxes and plus frames, but I think Monster Ed with like his grapples help a lot. But at the same time, I think if you were to like put Jimmy Unleashed in that team, he can help a lot too because he has like the power up mechanic.
Mm-hmm. I think they should just nerf God Rolf. Honestly, I don't know why they're so scared to nerf him. They should let he's not banned because I think it's stupid to have characters banned from tournaments, and especially if you're gonna oversee tournaments and stuff, you should just straight up ban him.
I mean, again, it's
you should just straight up nerf him. My bad. Sorry.
Again, it's the hard things is like when do the nerfs what do we nerf is the real question, and how bad are the nerfs really gonna affect God Rolf? Like, is he gonna drop all the way from SS tier to A tier or something, or maybe B tier with base Rolf? Because I think base Rolf is a lot more fun to play than God Rolf. God Rolf is a little too easy. But I think base Rolf with his stance switches and when you pair him up with Kevin, if Kevin falls down, base Rolf can obtain his hat, and then he can have a powered up three shoot beating stance, and I think that's a lot much more fun than God Rolf, mostly because you can't pick other characters.
Exactly, and nerfing him, it's better having him there than not at all, you know? Because even if you nerf him and he's not going to be used anymore, then it's not like he was ever used before anyways, because he was banned.
But at the same time, I get nerfing him could make him better for use, but I don't want him to be nerfed all the way down to Cockroach Eddie level, because that was a pretty big Can you guys believe how bullshit this DLC was? we got DLC pets of Cockroach Eddie in like Professor Stam, and Cockroach Eddie's like the worst character in the game.
Yeah, you might as well just put your controller down and let your opponent just win. Like
Pretty much.
might as well
Be like Luigi and hope for the best.
might as well use your character as a training dummy for your opponent.
Pretty much, that's what Cockroach Eddie is. But people can argue like, well, his hurt bots is like pretty low, but at the same time, like.
Well, yeah. Then again, like look at Yoda, Soul Calibur 4.
Yeah, Soul Calibur 4 Yoda. Like people say he's high tier, but at the same time, like Soul Calibur 4 Yoda and like characters even like gone from Tekken 3 who are like can only been hit by like mid and low moves. Those characters are like, I would say like they're C and D tier. Like that's all Yoda has, because Yoda has a lot of jumping moves, and when you just catch Yoda like about to jump, then that's honestly all he can do.
You can just throw him around like a ball at that point.
Yeah, like honestly, like people have trouble with like characters like Yoda at first, and that was like the whole thing with Cockroach Eddie at release. But people just figuring out that like, hey, Cockroach Eddie kind of sucks, and like his damage is really bad, then that's fine.
Yeah, he's basically a small glass cannon.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know, like I'd probably nerf Godwolf down to like maybe S or A tier. But at the same time, who's gonna take Jib's? Who's gonna take his place?
Yeah. Who's gonna stay up there with Jib?
At that point, I'd just move like maybe Mad Ed up there with Jib.
Yeah, especially when you put Mad Ed and Jib together, like
they're pretty unstoppable.
You've got from Heritage for the Future, JoJo. Like you have like normal Dio, and then you have boss Dio. That's kind of like how that feels.
I mean, at the same time, you never played as normal Dio in JoJo. You only played as powered up Dio.
Yeah.
I always found that weird.
Strange.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, there's already like Shadow Dio, who I would say like the Oedipus is very similar to.
Mhm. And both have also stayed out of like basically sunlight.
Yeah. At the same time, anyway, like, that's my opinion. There's gonna be DLC characters coming up. Like we're gonna be seeing. I've been hearing hints of a base form Johnny. Rolf's Nana might be added soon.
I thought she was just gonna be added in as an assist, from a patch.
No, I heard
she's gonna be an assist trophy.
No, she's gonna be like a legitimate character. That's what I've been hearing. And I think like we'll see what the gameplay trailers say, but I think Rolf's Nana from just like lore in itself, it's gonna be a strong character. But I'm hoping that we don't just get another Jubei. But anyway, that's the end of this video. Anything you guys want to add?
Nope. I still don't know shit about Edd N Eddy.
But your input was very helpful, because as an outsider, you're able to determine that you think the Tinker Sisters, especially Marie, has a lot more potential than Lee. I think that input is pretty good, because we always got to have like an outsider look in. It's like when your parents walk in on you watching like anime, and they're just like, "What the hell is this shit?" That's pretty much Yuri right here.
And then you explained it to them, and then they somehow start watching it with you.
I've never had that happen before.
Don't ask me. That's probably a topic for another video.
Anyway, Saber, anything you want to add to?
To the tier list.
No, just like closing off.
Subscribe to my channel.
Yeah, I was gonna say follow me on Twitter.
Yeah, you can follow
xy_Yuri.
All right, perfect.
Follow me at Nyla Saber, and subscribe to Tab if you aren't already.
Follow us more for tier list discussions. If you guys have tier lists that you want us to discuss, please let us know somewhere, and we'll discuss them. I already got something else lined up after this anyway.
Maybe we might discuss Shaggy Verde and Shaggy Rojo.
I'm more of a Shaggy Blanco type of guy. But Red Shaggy SSJ4 is also a good character, but we'll talk about that in a different video.
Yeah, anyway, Ariga, thanks for listening.
Yeah, thank you.